Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. It has been forever, but we are back with the uncommon truth. I am Des for those who are new.
I'm Rodney.
And we are back with a really good topic of discussion. We're going to discuss with you all 7 first date questions. And these are not typical questions. These are questions that will really get you to know the person that you are dating. So let's start with the first one. The first one is, instead of asking your partner, what do you do? Because that's just so broad. People always ask, what do you do? Instead of asking the person that you're dating that, say, so what do you do? What does your typical day entail? What do you do in a day? And to me, that jump starts so much of a conversation. It tells a lot about that person. They can say, okay, I wake up and I meditate, or I wake up and I work out, and then I go to my job, or I, do X, Y, and Z, and then I call such and such, and then whoever they call probably is somebody that they talk to a lot, so you can get a feel of who that person is by just asking, what does your typical day entail?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
It's a really good idea. That to me, I feel like is not as boring as, so what do you do?
Right. Or tell me about yourself.
Or tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Yeah, and I think even with that, more specifically, what do you do? What's the typical weekend like for you? Because that'll tell you what they do when they off time. So, okay, Saturday morning like this, she may get up and go do yoga. So that'd be a conversation starter. Oh, you do yoga?
Oh, you do yoga, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's...
So you're all about, Zen and peace and
health.
Yeah, so that, I think to me that tells a lot about that person you're dating.
Right. So another question you could ask, or this could be like a foundation of a question, and it deals with the person's passion. So you can ask them, are they working on any passionate projects, whether it be for work or whether it be for, a side job or just for pleasure. You never know, what someone may be working on something dealing with butterflies and would never bring it up in a typical date, because people don't talk about their passion in typical dates. They talk about what they do for a living, or maybe even kids.
Yeah. So
to bring up someone's passion and have them discuss their passion, you can learn a lot about them and who they are as a core just by knowing what their passion is. So I think that's also a good question.
And also, if they have a passion.
If they have a
at
passion.
all. Because if you say, okay, so what is your passion? And they're like,
right, I don't know.
I don't have a passion, or I'm still trying to find my passion. That right there could tell you a lot about that person.
Yeah.
Especially if let's just say you are a passionate person, you know your passion. You know what you are destined to do. You know what you were put in this earth to do. And the other person's like, yeah, I don't really know my passion, or I'm still trying to find that out. That right there could either be a red flag or maybe just a caution flag,
Yeah.
To me, that's what I feel like, because it's kind of like, if you are that person, what you're on your grind, and that you're doing what you're supposed to do and what you love, and then you meet somebody that's not quite there. Not saying that you need to shy away from that, but I feel like that could be okay, I'm gonna note this in my head, so maybe I could motivate them, or maybe this is just a type of person that I kind of just don't.
Right. If you're a passionate person, or you want to be with a passionate person, then that could be a red flag.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on what your criteria is.
Because some people don't have goals.
I don't have passion. I have goals. I've never really had a passion for anything. I don't think. I don't think I could have a passion and not even realize it because I'm very habitual. I do things habitually without even realizing it. So I could have a passion, but honestly, if somebody asked me that, I would be like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm passionate about.
Yeah. So I guess goals and passion is.
Yeah, you can ask them
what you're passionate about is different.
Right. So you can ask passion. They passionate about any goals they have. That can be, something, or what type of activities that they do.
Yeah, because it doesn't always have to be work related. It
right.
could be, you know.
What do you do that brings you kind of
it could be a sport.
Joy. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I like walking. It just feels so at peace when I walk. So okay, so that may be, peace may be your passion. You may have a passion for just peace.
Or it could just be like I'm passionate about my family.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So that could let the other person know, like, okay, so they're family oriented.
Right. So
All right, that was number 2. Number 3 is ask them what vacations they like to go on. For me, I feel like that's a big one, especially if you are the type of person that likes to vacay. If you are going on a date with somebody that says, yeah, I'm not really the vacation type of person, I'm more like a homebody, then maybe that's not the type of person that you want to keep dating, because eventually that may become like a problem. So I think not per se asking them like, what do you like to do, but making it more interesting to say what type of vacations you like to go on, because they can either say, one, I really don't like vacations, like I don't really go on vacations, or it could be the point of where I really haven't been on any vacations because I'm so busy or I don't have the money. So it really could stem to other things, but to me, I feel like that's a good question to spark up a really good conversation, because y'all may like the same vacations.
Right.
Y'all may like the beach, but you just can't do it, So I think that's a really good question.
Yeah, or even ask them, when's the last time they've been out of town?
Yeah.
Because some people, like I've met people that they've gone places and like, oh, you was on vacation? They was like, that wasn't vacation. So people have different definitions of vacations.
Yeah.
They may,
and their vacation may be home.
Right. So
staying at home.
Right. So when,
but just using PTO time.
So you may have to figure out what terminology to use. You may have to ask it differently. Instead of saying vacation, like I said, when the last time you been out of town.
Yeah.
Or, did something not in the city.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
And also, I want to bring this up too. I know, like, with our situation, I know I'm more of a vacation person than he is. And I think that's because he's been going, like, his mother started them young. Like, I have never been to Disney World, but Rodney has been, how many times?
I don't know, maybe 3 or 4.
So it's kind of like not as exciting to him. But for me, it is because I've never been. And just like other things, like when it deals with vacations, it's not really exciting to him because he's like been there, done that. And I'm the type of person, like I'm just starting to do these type of things. So it doesn't like raise up any type of conflict between us, but it's a really good conversation to have, because let's just say he just tired of vacations all around, but I'm like, I want to go on vacations because I've never done this type of thing, then that could be a red flag.
Yeah.
So I think that is a really good question to bring up.
Right. And the next one is, you can ask someone on a date is, what's the best advice you've ever been given? That's important, because that'll tell you, one, who's in that circle. If the advice comes from somebody in that circle, somebody real, like a mentor or friends, then you can say, okay, this person has a good team around them, and that's something to be, positive about.
Right.
And then also, you can learn about what type of material they read, because a lot of advice may not come from a person. It may come from a book that they read, or a quote from a poet, or a quote from a president. So it'll tell you, it'll lead into a deeper conversation.
Yeah.
You know, if they say, yeah, so and so said this, and you're like, oh, you mean the financial analyst from Wall Street, Ray Dalio? I'm like, okay, so you into that type of stuff. So it may give you an insight into who they are as people or where they're going, and that may even give you an insight to their passion.
Yeah.
You know, what the
it
best
could lead
advice.
to another question.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something also that you should ask, and that could lead to several more conversations, deep conversations.
Right. All right. Number 5 is tell me about your closest friends. Instead of asking who are your closest friends or who you hang with, probably ask the question. Tell you about their closest friends, because that could lead you to know who their closest friends is, and kind of give you more of a feel of who they are. Have y'all ever heard the saying, you are who you hang with? Some people really live by that. Me personally, I'm not that type of person to believe that, because I feel like just because, like, you know, you may hang with them doesn't mean that that's who you are. You never know. You could be that change. You could be that influencer to that person to change. So I'm not one to stand by that, but a lot of people do believe that you are who you hang with.
Yeah.
So just asking the question to tell me who your closest friends are, that can give you an insight on who they hang with, and if that is some type of, if those are people that you could see yourself being associated with.
Right, because if they hang around people who, I ain't gonna say are beneath them, but have no type of goals or dreams or common sense, they don't read, and you can look at that person like, okay, how far are you really about to go if all of your friends on this level?
Yeah.
Because your friends can bring you down, just like friends can bring you up. If you see your friends writing books, starting websites, getting certifications in different type of professional fields, it'll motivate you to want to do better.
Yeah.
So if you're a person who maybe you're a college student, or maybe, you know, you're not in your career yet and you're dating someone, figuring out where they're going, you can do that by asking them who their friends are. Like, if you got a friend, my friend graduated last year, now he's at so-and-so as an engineer, you're like, okay, so he's seeing something. And when you see stuff, like when you see opportunity, like even if it's a house, if you see big houses growing up, you're gonna want that. If you see successful people growing up, you're gonna want that.
Yeah.
So that's why that type of question is so important. So that was number 4. The next question is number 5, and that is, tell me how you were as a kid, or how were you as a kid? Because that's also important, because it'll tell you who they are now for the most part, or it'll tell you where they come from, and where they are now, and why they are the way they are.
Yeah, what issues that they haven't dealt with, because 9 times out of 10, there's still those issues that they had when they were a child are still lying deep,
following them
in them, and possibly comes out, you know, every now and then. So that is
That's
really
important.
good question. Gives you an insight on how they were raised, how their parents were, you know, what they're used to, you know. So
but
it's a really good question.
Sorry, that was number 6, not number 5. Sorry.
Yeah, that was number 6.
But that's a good question. And also, because a lot of times, and people may not know it, how they are now may be due to something
that happened
as
when
a
they
kid,
were
and they may not even know it. So that's another thing. Like, because you was just like a kid, so how'd you become this way now? What led you to this point? So I think that's also a really, really good question that could lead also to other questions of deeper conversation.
All right, and number 7, which is the last question, on a first date, another good question is to ask them if they have any pet peeves. That's a really good question, good conversation starter, because you can see and have an insight on what they like and what they dislike. If there's something that they like and you don't like, hey, at least you know. And, you know, maybe it's something that they like and you like, and there's something that you can say, oh, we have in common. We have that in common, you know. So I think that's a really good conversation starter. So all of these questions are really, really good first date conversation starters. So maybe if you are single and you know you are going on a first date or you have a first date coming up, hey, ask these questions, because I'm gonna tell you, these are questions that I wish that I would have asked before, you know, prior to me and Rodney right now. I think it's really good to just ask questions and not hold back, even if it's the first date. You don't want to ask like
personal, like sexual.
You don't, yeah,
questions,
you don't want to ask like, you don't want to dig too deep
mental, like, you
on
don't
the first
deal with,
date,
like,
because some people like they'll get like
right,
scared, you know, they're like,
Yeah.
you doing too much on a first date. But you want to ask, you want to keep it in the middle to where it's like, I'm not going too deep, but I'm still getting an insight on who this person is.
right.
And if this is somebody that I can see myself going on a second date with and possibly being in a relationship with.
Yep.
So, anyways, if you all thought this video was a really good video and you all liked it, click like and subscribe, because we have some really good stuff coming for y'all. This is 2020. We're back in full effect. We love y'all.